Hello everyone, welcome to Liam's Lifetime. I'm your host Liam, aka Himbar, and today I'm doing my weekly update of Liam's Leapings. I think this is 10. I never check before I record, so it is just, what is it, September 17th? It's 2022, I think that's the date. Anyways, tell me if I'm wrong. But just go over basically really quick what I've been up to. I will say I feel like I've gotten a lot less reading in this week. I've been trying to keep up. Essentially, I started another job a couple weeks ago, and then I started an internship this week. So I'm currently working 3 jobs. It is exhausting to say the least and takes up a lot of my time. I'm looking forward to the weekend actually. I'm about to play some Lord of the Rings online with my brother, maybe my brothers, so that should be fun. But just to go over real quick the books I read, and then we'll go quickly to the books I got. So the first one's actually both, because I got this one on Saturday of last week, and then I finished it Monday, I think. And that is Babel by R.F. Kuang. This is a recent release. I think it came out the beginning of September, maybe August, I'm not really sure. I have some thoughts on this one. I definitely will be doing my review probably sooner rather than later. Probably in a couple weeks this review will come out rather than in like December or whatever it would come out if I did it in my order I read these books in. Mostly because it's new, I just want to get the thoughts out sooner. I did enjoy it, just not a ton. You can read a little bit of my thoughts on Goodreads, or you can talk to me about it on Discord. I did a rant a little bit about it. I mean, just to put it bluntly, I guess, is the plot suffers a lot because it doesn't actually start. There is no plot essentially until 60% of the way through the book. And then I didn't really care for the plot. So once we found the plot, it was a plot I didn't really care for, because there were some things about this first 60% of the book which I did like, and it didn't go with those things. So, and there's other problems with it, but it's got a cool cover at least, and it's not all bad. It's not all bad, but I think I think most people really like it, but I am not most people, and that's okay. I say that. I think about that all the time, every day. I realize I'm not most people, and I'm completely fine with that. So that's cool by me. Oh yeah, and then I'm still reading through Word Horde by Hannah Vadine. This is nonfiction. I made very, very, very little progress this week. I was on page like 90. Ooh. Where was I? You know what, maybe I wasn't. I don't know where I was. Oh no, I was on page no, I don't know where I was. 90 something, I think, a week ago. Now I'm on page 126. I didn't make it very far at all. I've had so very little time. I've been so busy, it's ridiculously annoying. So yeah, it's still good, but I've read very little of it. Another book I read very little of is The Forge of Virtue by Lynn Abbey. I mentioned last week that I wanted to finish this week, and instead I've read about 30 pages or so, which is fine, I guess. It's better than nothing. I'm sad that I haven't finished it. I'm pretty close still, but yeah, that's basically all my week is, right? It's just me saying I haven't finished things. So I'm still going through Time with the Twins as well. I'm a little further than this. I'm reading it mostly on my Kindle. I'm not even done with this chapter yet, so I'm on part 2, chapter 5 still, so not quite 270 pages through, so I am making good progress. I'm more than halfway through. This is what I have left. And I am enjoying it. I hope it stays good, especially with the next 2 books. Because I think I mentioned last week, but my Extremes of Dragonlance Chronicles, I enjoyed the first book, and then I thought the second and third book went downhill. So hopefully these go up, or at least stay the same rather than going down. So as far as other books that I did finish though, because I've been working, I'm grateful that I can listen to some audiobooks with a couple of my jobs. So I did finish The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. I listened to this in 2 days, which is sad. I didn't think it would be that short. I had a really busy 2 days. Really stinking good. I actually just filmed a video of one of the poems in here with my wife yesterday. That's the first time I made a video with my wife. You won't see her because I don't have the camera on for my poetry videos. And then another listen I listened to this all yesterday. So Thursday is Paralandra, the second in the space or cosmic trilogy by C.S. Lewis. I enjoyed this one a lot. I enjoyed it actually more than Out of the Silent Planet, which I read back in March or April, something like that. So this one was really cool. I'm really looking forward to book 3, That Hideous Strength, which is like double the length of Paralandra. So this is pretty interesting, pretty cool. It's like Christian sci-fi, so to speak. It's pretty weird in a way, but not like pulpy eldritch weird. It's just odd. Anyways, so I also got some books this week. These first 3 are kind of connected, but I'll go with the first one. This is Willow, the novel by Wayland Drew. But this is I watched Willow, the movie, 1988 with Warwick Davis and what's that guy's name? Val Kilmer. I really enjoyed it. I watched it on Sunday. I loved it, honestly. I was like, wow, I can't believe I've never seen this movie. Partially or mostly because my buddy Tim, has talked about it a lot, and then he reacted to the new Willow trailer that came out on Disney Plus Day or whatever the heck it was. And I was like, that trailer looks interesting, but I don't really know what's going on. And then I watched the movie, and then I watched the trailer like 10 more times because I was super excited for the Willow TV show that comes out in November now. But I really enjoyed this fantasy movie. It is kind of for kids, but it's kind of got some horror elements and other things in it, but it's stinking great. Honestly, I really enjoyed this, and I hear this novelization is pretty decent actually. So it's got some pictures in the middle of it. This book is well loved, put it that way. This is like a really rough copy. Heck, I got it out of the package and this corner fell off of the cover. I hadn't even like really touched it. Like, I don't know what was going on there. Anyway, so I got the other 2 books. It's a sequel to Willow. Is what is this series called actually? Well, the first book is Shadow Moon, and the second one is Shadow Dawn. I ordered the 3rd book, but I haven't gotten it yet. I hear generally negative things about these books. It's a sequel to Willow. It takes place 13 years after. It seems like, from what a lot of people have looked at and seen, that the new Willow TV show is like kind of acting like this didn't happen or whatever. It's cool because it's got George Lucas's name on the thing. Willow was a story written or made by George Lucas, so he didn't I don't think he was directly involved, but just not a ton with the movie, nor with these books. The author is really Chris Claremont, who I think is a comic book author of all things. So I will probably read this at some point. I just hope I can, kind of like watching Rings of Power. It's my suspension of disbelief has to go up when it's not just because it's fantasy, because I don't have a problem doing that, but when it's like Rings of Power, okay, I know they're going to mess up Tolkien's lore. Knowing that they kind of lose a lot of the stuff that was good about Willow in this book, so maybe I can get over it if I can suspend my disbelief of Willow, if that makes sense. For those books. But the other 2 books I got are kind of weird ones you're probably not expecting. I got this book called The Amethyst by Lenora Henson. This is self-pub, I think. It's by Poppy Press, but I think that's just the author. And this is the 6th book in a series I read in 2015. I think is when I read the 5th book. I think that's when it came out. Was it 2015? I'm not 100% sure on that, but I was really itching to get to this book for whatever reason, because it's kind of like it's like neo-pagan type of thing going on, because the author is a neo-pagan, I think. But it's kind of like, it's like the Sweep series, kind of, if you ever read that. It takes place in rural Illinois. It actually got some horror elements to it. I remember it being thoroughly creeped out by this series when I read the first 5. But that was 7 years ago when I finished the 5th book, which is wild to think about. 2015 does not feel like it should be 7 years ago, but alas it is. So I was going to get this on Kindle because that's how I read the first 5. The option didn't seem to be available anymore, so I got the physical copy. And I'm not rereading the first 5, so I'm going to dive into this one. Maybe, I think, soon. It's not very long. And yeah, that should be interesting. It takes place in like central rural Illinois though, and I like that because that's where I grew up. The author is from there. That's half the reason I was interested in the series, because it's fantasy-ish horror, in rural Illinois, around where I grew up. So I like that idea. And then the last book I got is No Man's Land by Simon Tolkien, the grandson, or one of the grandsons, obviously, a grandson of J.R.R. Tolkien. I had just heard about it, so I got it, basically. It is here, actually, in the dedication. It says, actually, it says from my daughter, Anna Tolkien. But after that, it says, this book honors the memory of my grandfather, J.R.R. Tolkien, who fought on the Somme between July and October of 1916. So it's more of like inspired by book rather than based on book. This is not a book based off Tolkien's experience in World War I. It is more inspired by Tolkien's experience in World War I and written by his grandson, which is pretty cool. But it's not about Tolkien. They're fictional characters. But I still thought it sounded interesting. I like historical fiction. I like that period of history. I think it's interesting. I like a lot of periods of history, but in a large part because of Tolkien and my me being a fan of him. It's got this cool poppy design too. With the silhouettes of the soldiers. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to reading No Man's Land. If anyone likes historical fiction, which I know there are a few of you out there, then maybe you might want to read this with me or something. And then if I make plans to read it, then it'll probably happen sooner rather than later. So anyways, No Man's Land by Simon Tolkien. That is the last book I got this week. I'm exceptionally tired, but I need to play some Lotro, so I'm going to end this here. It should go up on time, but if not, it'll probably go up later in the day if I fall asleep beforehand. Before uploading it, that is. But I have more reviews coming this next week. I'm way ahead on recording my poetry videos. For some reason, I'm a little behind on recording my reviews. I still have about 20 to record, which is about what it is normally because I only record a couple each week and I read a couple books each week. So, yeah, anyways, I will catch you next time. This is Liam with Liam's Lyceum. Let me know what you've read this week or plan on reading soon or whatever. Anyways, bye.